the screenplay by Zach Baylin. It was an amazing story, and I sort of read it as a genre film. I've been looking to do an American film and hadn't found one, and I was sort of really inspired by particular filmmakers like William Friedkin and Sidney Lumet, and a particular kind of muscular style of filmmaking that came from the 70s was a huge influence for me. And the added thing to this was that it was sort of based on a true story, you know, and that within that genre, Zach had found, you know, this had revealed this group that were, you know, really sort of setting up one of the first domestic terrorist groups in America. So even though it was period, and it was sort of telling a story from afar, it seemed to kind of be speaking and having a conversation to now that you know, felt quite effortless. And they're always the really interesting stories when you can get a bit of distance and perspective of a zeitgeist that's sort of happening now, but from a story that perhaps is, you know, told in a different period or a different place. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess trying to understand where violence comes from and where hate comes from, and how I guess people are sort of lured to, you know, believe in dangerous ideals, how they're sort of seduced into, you know, believing in some of these ideals. I mean, I've always been quite fascinated by that, you know, especially how groups or communities or families are sort of exploited, you know, whether they're sort of disenfranchised or whether they're looking to be listened to, and, you know, someone as sort of dangerous as Bob Matthews comes along and, you know, starts to give them, you know, some answers that are really sort of dangerous. I'm sort of fascinated in how that happens, you know, and that is what we try to explore as much as possible in the way we kind of develop the characters and the way the actors work with those characters.